No light. No air, only the crushing weight of bodies shackled in iron and dread. The slaver's hold is a living tomb, stifling heat, rank stench, and the ceaseless drip of urine and excrement from crude latrines. You lie atop a thrashing corpse, ankle deep in bile and blood, fingers clawing at damp, splintered wood for purchase. Above, boots thunder on the deck, guards with muskets cocked, ready to silence any whisper of revolt. Rats the size of ferrets skitter over backs, maggots feast on festering wounds. Mothers cradle limp infants, their tiny chests still. Dysentery rages, drowning survivors in their own waste. By journey's end, as many as 1 in 5 are heaved overboard, sometimes still alive, into shark-infested waters, their names erased by ledger and blade. This is the Middle Passage, where over 12.5 million of Africans were forced across the Atlantic in chains, confined to horrific, dehumanizing holds, and subjected to brutal conditions that claimed nearly 1.8 million lives. You crawl through the narrow hatch into unending dark. The bodies are stacked 3 deep, men on the bottom tier, their heads pressed against rotting corpses, women above, ankles chained to oak timbers, children wedged wherever space appears. Olaudah Equiano recalled in 1789.
I was so confined that I could neither stand nor sit without pain. The heat was suffocating beyond conception. I often wished for the last friend, death, to relieve me.
Picture his trembling voice echoing between planks. Each breath tastes of rot, the putrid bouquet of sweat, spilled blood, and human decay. Every movement tears skin against iron collars that have been tightened until flesh swells and fuses to metal. On the slave ship Brooks in 1788, 454 men, women, and children were crammed into space meant for 250. A British surgeon in 1765 described shoveling away 12-inch layers of human waste, only to uncover more bodies hidden below. You slip and your hand plunges into half-decomposed forms. Maggots writhe like living beads on your knuckles. Rats leap from corpse to corpse, their whiskers twitching as they feed. The stench is a living entity, clinging to your lungs, seeping into every pore. You taste blood, yours, or perhaps from the body pressed beneath you. Within days, scurvy takes hold. Gums swell until they blacken and bleed. You drool dark rivulets into your cupped hands. Next comes dysentery, explosive and unrelenting, your intestines convulsing with each roll of the ship. Guards haul you by ropes, slam you face first onto the deck, and leave you to drown in your own filth. Smallpox follows like divine retribution. Pustules erupt across your skin, each a blistered testament to agony, until your flesh peels away in ragged strips. John Newton, an English sailor aboard the Greyhound in 1748, watched 15 souls suffocate in a single night, their bodies heaped so tightly there was no space to breathe. Decades later, he wrote Amazing Grace and joined the abolitionist cause. But here, in this hold, he bore silent witness. At dawn, the captain's clerk descends, ledger in hand. He ticks off the living, the dead, the dying. Those still twitching are dragged, wrists bound in iron to the railing and cast into the Atlantic. They hit with a wet thud, arms flailing, eyes wild. Sharks trail the blood-stained wake, tearing at limbs before the rest sink beneath the waves. In November 1781, on the Zone, Captain Luke Collingwood ordered 132 women and children, some still breathing, heaved overboard to claim insurance. Insurers paid for cargo lost, not for lives. The ocean became their mass grave, their screams became the sea's secret. Violence is as constant as the ocean's roar. A man begs for water, cutlass severs his fingers, his tongue is sliced for insolence. Women endure rape not as an atrocity but as routine cargo processing, seized by crewmen, broken by steel-toed boots on the deck, tears lost beneath the swelling waves. In Kingston in 1805, eyewitness Amelia Hopkins recorded women stripped naked for inspection, manhandled by buyers, then dragged below deck for the captain's pleasure. Infants born in the hold are seized, those who cry are drowned, the rest sold to plantations as future labor. Every act is another notch on the ledger, another proof that human life is worth less than a crate of sugar. Time dissolves into madness. No stars, no sun. Night and day blur into a single, endless nightmare. Some captives claw at the hatch, screaming guttural prayers in Igbo and Akan, others bang their skulls against the planks until silence falls like a shroud. Guards pour rum down throats to induce delirium, drying minds until you collapse chest first, gasping black blood into cesspools beneath you. You lose sense of self, of past, of future. The hold is eternity contained within a coffin of rotting wood. Yet, in this abyss, sparks of resistance ignite. Captives tap secret rhythms on the hull. Yoruba drum codes once heard in village squares, now echoing beneath the ocean's belly. They share lullabies in Menda and Wolof, messages of hope in a language the slaver cannot decode. In 1731 aboard the Whydah, captured Yoruba warriors slashed throats and seized the deck for hours, 20 crewmen dead, before superior firepower drowned their uprising. Their courage trembled through the Atlantic, inspiring future revolts. In 1839, Sengba P and 53 men captives aboard La Amistad overpowered their captors, steering the schooner eastward for 2 weeks toward Africa. When the U.S. Navy intercepted them, their case reached the Supreme Court, which ruled their seizure illegal and granted them freedom, a landmark in the fight against the slave trade. Their voices still echo in the hold's darkness, a testament that even in chains, flesh can roar. Every captive carried a name. Olaudah Sawyer, snatched as a teenager from the Bight of Biafra in 1803, survived the hellish voyage and settled in Nova Scotia, his scars a testament to unspeakable suffering. Cudjoe Lewis, torn from his home in Benin in 1860 aboard the illegal Clotilda, endured 32 days at sea. He lived on in Africatown, Alabama, until 1935, recounting every detail of that final, forbidden voyage. Abdul Rahman Ibrahima, heir to an African kingdom, survived the Middle Passage and 13 years of American bondage to be freed in 1828. His story spread across newspapers, a rare narrative of dignified resistance. By the voyage's end, the hatch slides open. You stagger into blinding light, a husk of a human, your name lost to the auction block. 2/3 of those who survive the sea will die within a year of arrival, broken bodies consumed by the sun and backbreaking labor. But some endure. Their memories, carried in song and story, shape new cultures. In Haiti, voodoo priests whisper the names of ancestors stolen by the trade. In Brazil, quilombos stand as living monuments to resistance. In the American South, the ring shout and spirituals encode secret maps of escape. Today, forensic oceanographers trace currents that carried Zong victims toward Grenada. DNA scholars link drowned bodies to villages in Ghana. At Elmina and Cape Coast castles, rusted chains hang like silent witnesses to this engineered atrocity. The Atlantic wind whistles through their windows, carrying faint, anguished cries, cries you feel in your bones. This was no accident. The Middle Passage was a meticulously engineered atrocity, flesh reduced to cargo, names erased by ledger and blade, the Atlantic transformed into the world's largest unmarked grave. To confront this horror unfiltered is to stare into the abyss of human cruelty, and to honor the indomitable spirit of those who refuse to break beneath it. Let their voices, their resistance, and their undying memory guide us to never repeat such depths of cruelty again. That brings us to the end of this video. Don't forget to like, share, and drop your thoughts in the comment section. We're always listening, and we grow from your feedback. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do that now. We've got your interest at heart, and trust me, the next one might just hit harder. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.